ST Filmmaker here with the first live-action edition of ST Survival Tips. Now, whether you're wealthy, working, or poor, we all have one thing in common. As much as we hate to say it, money is often the driving force for our survival. We need it for our homes, food, and various material items for our own amusement. But no matter what happens, we just can't get enough. In this edition, I'm going to show you some tips on how to get extra dough in your pocket.
First things first, calculate your budget.
A budget is a great way to organize yourself and where your money goes. Make a list of your important essentials and calculate a rough estimate of how much you spend on them. Dang it. A budget is a great way to organize yourself and where your money goes. Make a list of your important essentials, calculate a rough estimate of how much you spend on them, then find out what you have left of spending money. If you have at least a few dollars in your pockets, it is best to divide what you're going to spend and what you're going to save for future use.
Second, how to make more money.
Now, if you're working, that's a start, but it doesn't mean you are out of the woods just yet. Depending on your budget, you can only have a few bucks or nothing if all your essentials require expensive spending. You can always get a second job, but depending on your hours, both jobs would exhaust you, leaving you less time for leisure. However, what you don't know is that out there is still much money lying around all over your own home. The best example would be basic scrap recycling, in which you take valuable reusable materials and turn them in for money in your nearest scrap or recycle plant. There are so many ways to do this, but the fastest way to do this is through aluminum. Aluminum, at least in Canada or the US, is worth at least 45 to 55 cents per pound. The best way to collect it is if you collect your empty pop and beer cans and take them in. However, due to a certain rule in these yards, you have to crush them before you turn them in. And that would either be too much work without a crusher, which many cannot really afford. This sucks because if you can use your whole can to get more out of these than you can with just simple pop tabs. But, however, if you got like a handy container, these pop cans can turn from this into this, especially if you collect it using one of these containers. The container I have is made of polypropylene, which is worth 7 cents per pound, which is not much compared to the aluminum, but it's two birds, one stone regardless, especially when you collect bottle tops of the same material. Since I live in a spot where I know people that don't know a garbage can if it bit them in the ass, I find many of these all over the sidewalks, but the best way to get them is to buy at least a 24-pack of pop or other beverages that use the same aluminum canning. You can take the tab off the can, put it in the container, and then when you got enough, you take it to your recycling plant. Lather, rinse, and repeat without the Herbalansis orgasm.
Third, how to save your money.
Now, this is the hardest part, at least to me, since I'm a bit of a spendaholic. But the best way of saving your money is to never put your eggs in one basket. Put your money in other places rather than simply the bank. And then there's the hard part. Pretend those places aren't even there. I'm dead serious. If you can mentally train yourself into thinking that you have no other places, then you won't worry about them being gone. As usual, debate, argue, and let me know what I missed. Stay tuned for more.